one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Almighty and everlasting God, who presides over all things in heaven and earth, come and preside over these deliberations so that those that make the decisions may be guided by your wisdom.
Roll call, Mr. Barrett is excused. Mr. Brooks?
Here.
Mr. Marin?
Here.
Mr. Belishko is excused, and Mrs. McClay?
Here.
Also in attendance is Mayor George Brown, Controller Tony Thomas, City Attorney Tim Henry, Assistant City Clerk Tracy Smith, and Administrative Assistant Lisa Sanfilippo. Good evening. Welcome to tonight's regular session of council. Please turn off all cell phones. Following are examples of some important council rules. They are not intended to be a complete list. Please adhere as closely as possible to the 5-minute speaker presentation time limit. No persons are allowed to address council from beyond the rail, except the speaker at the dais who has the floor. The chairperson shall preserve order and decorum and prevent attacks on personalities. Chairperson shall determine all points of order, and no person except city officers or their representatives shall be permitted within the rail during any meeting without the express permission of council. Council kindly asks that the public please vacate the building within 10 minutes after the meeting adjourns. And finally, members of administration, please use the microphone. The only item on council's agenda are minutes to be approved, so we'll need a motion and a second.
Motion.
Motion by Mr. Marin.
Second.
Second by Mr. Brooks.
Comment on the agenda?
There is no agenda items other than minutes.
Approval of minutes. I'd like to comment on the minutes.
Come on up, Sam.
Yeah, my point is that there is no agenda, but there is approval of the minutes. So I would like to ask, since there are two issues here concerning the Wyoming Valley Sanitary Authority, I see our representative from the Sanitary Authority is notably absent. I'm still a little bit perturbed about the recent actions of the raising of the rates. So my question concerning the agenda and the minutes, I'm sticking to that, is what would happen theoretically if, I guess it seems a little funny, but what if the acceptance of the minutes were rejected? What would happen? Anything? Has that ever occurred before, Kathy?
I don't think.
I mean, they don't have to vote to accept the minutes, correct?
Correct, but I think it's just a formality.
It's just-
There's
It's a
not
formality.
going to, right, if you have,
But you have the option of voting against it, correct?
I would imagine.
You're not
yes.
sure?
Yes,
You're chairwoman of the council, you're not sure?
we could, but it's not going to have an impact. The minutes are the minutes.
It's not going to have any impact?
No.
Well, but it can be done. I mean, any of these council members can vote against the acceptance of the minutes,
Absolutely.
correct? So theoretically, if we have a majority, Tim, the minutes are not accepted, correct? All right, well, I'm proposing, I mean, this might seem a little ridiculous, but I never try to be ridiculous, that the minutes concerning the Wyoming Valley Sanitary Authority be rejected.
Have you reviewed them?
What's that?
Have you reviewed them?
I haven't reviewed them, but because of the fact that they, a few months ago, agreed without any representatives from the public. I know the meeting was published and all that, but they agreed to drastically, in the middle of what I consider an economic crisis, inflation going up, people paying more for utilities and food and rent, et cetera. Without any recourse from the public, there's no control like the PUC over the Sanitary Authority, which is unfortunate. So and our representative, who is not present tonight, voted, as well as Phil Latinsky and the other person, I forget his name, 3 people representatives voted for this drastic increase, which is going to double our rates.
Sam, that was months ago. This does not have to do with the minutes that were today.
Well, I'm just voting, I'm just saying that the vote, that you
should.
should vote against the acceptance of the
Okay.
minutes from the Sanitary Authority, and the reason for that is a means of protest against our actions to raise our rates. That's all I got to say.
Okay, so we'll go back.
Can I have a clarification from the city attorney? Aren't we just, the voting on these minutes means we received them?
Yeah, it's a formality. It's a formality.
Right, okay.
All right, so we'll go back to the motion was made by Mr. Marin, seconded by Mr. Brooks. Mr. Brooks?
Yes.
Mr. Marin?
Yes.
Mrs. McClay?
Yes.
Presentations.
Okay, presentations, nope, Mr. Maron.
The only thing I have is let Charlie, Mr. McCormick know that they already started repairing the South Street Bridge. That was, I guess they dented a little bit of the steel that was there, so they're already starting to repair that, and thank you. And that's all I have for today.
Mr. Brooks?
I got a call this afternoon from a constituent who wants to plant trees in their tree lawn. They can do that, right? Yep, and then they also want to donate some trees for Mayflower, the park on our border, Mayflower Park. So should I put them in contact with Dave Lewis about donating trees? Great, okay. Nothing else, Madam Chair.
That's great.
Perfect. I have nothing as well since Tuesday. All right. So we're going to move on to public discussion. Before we do that, I would like to make a statement because I do know that there are some people here for some things. So I just want you to know that City Council does not have anything to do with what occurs with the police station. That is something that is run by the administration. So just so you, when you're making your comments, so you are aware of that, City Council does not have anything to do with the day-to-day of the operations of the police. Okay? First up, Keith Eastep. Sorry if I messed up your name. Just come up, when you do come up to speak, if you could just tell us your name and your address for the record, and then you have 5 minutes.
Hi, my name is Keith Eastep. I live at 324 Parkview Circle. I just wanted to use my phone just to read off some demographics, if that's okay. I'm not going to be sarcastic. I'm not going to be disrespectful. Thank you guys for your service. We have about 44,600 people in this, in Wilkes-Barre. Is that about correct?
Sounds about right.
Okay. And the median in the city is about 35 years old, which is younger than the state median age. Also, there's 52% of whites, non-Hispanics, which makes 50% of the rest of the population. So there's about 15% Hispanic, 11 to 14% Black, and biracial also. Also, I just wanted to say that the median household income in Wilkes-Barre is about $47,900, which is lower than the state average. The city has a poverty rate significantly higher than the average cities in Pennsylvania. And also, a majority of the adult residents have at least a high school diploma, but the bachelor degrees and or higher is lower than the state average, which is about 20%. And I just wanted to bring all that up because going to the county council meetings and then the city council meetings, and just in the police force and a lot of things, there's a lot of misrepresentation. I do a lot of with the homeless and do like missionary work and stuff like that. And, you know, I've had problems with, you know, when we come up to ask for things for people that you guys probably make more than most of the people. You guys are more represented than the people that are everyday people walking around. And even with that situation, like we said about the police department, and I don't even want to speak on it because it's not my situation, but the way we handle situations like that, you know, but also I don't feel like people feel like they have to answer to us because it doesn't really matter. And even the people that vote, like we said, the people that are uneducated, you know, the people that I know and hang out with, they can't even come up here and keep their emotions regulated enough to speak to you guys, or even go and take a day off and go vote somewhere. So I just wanted to highlight that part. And the police department, since they're here, because I don't think that they're here to actually like speak on that situation, everything, I do feel like they're here to make sure that like keep us in check. You know what I mean? And I find that kind of disrespectful. You know what I mean? Because it is a sensitive situation. And I just wanted to highlight that part, that there's a lot of people misrepresented, and I feel like you guys don't feel like you have to answer to like the homeless situation that's going on. You just say they don't exist, which they do. They're everywhere out here. And the Wilkes-Barre Police Department, I've dealt with them because I worked at Keystone Mission, so like I know how they treat them. And then also with the when the Wilkes-Barre Township like laughed on the Post, which I think is ridiculous. You know, whoever that is, I think they should be fired or dealt with. Yeah, I just wanted to raise you guys' awareness that a lot of people are going to vote coming up, and I hope that a lot of this representation changes, not based off of who you guys know or where you guys went to school at or, and, what we look like, Thank you.
I just want to reply to you. So just so you are aware, the police are at every council meeting. They are not here just because of the crowd that's here today. They do attend every council meeting that we have. So I want you to be aware of that, because I know you said it was, but they are at every council meeting that we have.
And I personally deal with the police when I would work at the shelter in my personal life, and I don't feel represented or protected by them. So who do I go to?
And
I don't feel protected by them, and I don't feel represented.
I hear what you're saying. I just wanted to clarify that they are at every council meeting, so that it wasn't a misconception.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Beth Ann?
My name is Beth Ann McTavish, and I live at 82 Darling Street in Wilkes-Barre City. Good afternoon, council and mayor. I am here today to follow up on the progress being made regarding the winter water and ice flow and stormwater basin backup on Darling Street in Wilkes-Barre. Since then, I have given my story to the Citizens' Voice and WNEP TV News. Finally, DPW is working to alleviate the problem. The storm drain in front of my house is now sealed up with only an opening for flowing water on the parking side of the one-way. A trench is in the process of being dug to combat the flow of water, and pipes are being inserted in the ground on Tank Hill. However, we are not out of the woods yet, as in the summer with frequent downpours, there is still the distinct possibility of backup. The rainwater flows down Tank Hill, Brick Street, and along the two-way part of Darling Street and empties into the drain in front of my house. I still contend that there should be at least 2 smaller drains set into the one-way part of Darling Street. There is a rumor that the owner of the land on Tank Hill wants to construct an apartment building and a pet cemetery on the property. While I do not have a problem with the pet burial site, I do have misgivings about the water flow from the apartment complex and the sewage. And what kind of an apartment dwelling will it be? Will the residents of Darling Street be notified? The last time a building for incorrigibles was planned and a swale would have been constructed. This would have directed the entire water flow down the hill right at my doorstep. I appeared at the meeting and said that I would need a canoe. I was told that this time Jersey barriers would be inserted underground to hold back the flow of water. If the ground should erode, what then? I don't want to go from the frying pan into the fire, or more appropriately, my cup overflows. Please let's have a meeting of the minds and reach an amicable agreement. I am willing to meet with the people involved. All I want is to be able to park my car in front of my home and not be glued to the TV anticipating a weather event. Thank you.
Anybody? Thank you. Sean Zimmerman. Just your name and address. Thank you.
Sean Zimmerman. I have a property at 57 rear West Chestnut Street in the city. I'm here because of property on Willow Street in Wilkes-Barre. Back in the summer, myself, Dave Lewis, and the mayor's assistant sat in his office and discussed this property for sale. And they told me they had to do things to get it to where it had to be for sale. And then yesterday, or Tuesday, I find out it's up for sale and someone put a bid on it. So I don't know how I got out of the loop of buying the property.
I don't want to cut you off, so normally we let you finish. Are you done?
Yeah.
Okay. Anything else? Okay. You know anything? Oh, you can't speak out. Sorry.
Mr. Zimmerman, I met with you and we were waiting for an offer. We've never received anything from you. No, I've never received anything from you about that you wanted to follow up. We had a discussion about the deteriorated state of the building and that there were a number of issues that have to be dealt with down there, and then there was no offer coming from you. I've never received one.
There was an offer, there was a letter written, dropped off at your office. The letter was written by the Dean of LCC, Tom Leary, in my behalf, and I presented it in the office in an envelope with the letter of what we were offering for the building, and it was on a letterhead from my attorney, Tom O'Connor.
Never received it.
It was dropped off in your office.
Never received it, sir.
Is this something that, I mean, can you get them the
Sure.
letter?
I can meet with you next
After?
week.
For sure.
Sure.
We sat in your office with Dave, correct?
I know, yeah.
Okay.
I remember you, sir. Absolutely.
And I just found out it through talk, on
Okay.
Tuesday.
Yeah, if you can just bring the letter down, maybe talk to Charlie.
Yeah, because I also left 2 messages this week on the voicemail, and I got a
Okay,
return phone call.
thank you.
Thank you.
Martin Darto?
May we have a moment of silence, please, for the young lady, Lala. May we have a moment of silence for the 14-year-old young lady, Lala, that was killed tragically. Thank you. I'm here today because we have a problem.
First, can you just, your name and your address? for the
My name
record?
is Martin Darto from Wilkes-Barre City. I'm here today because we have a problem. Our city is struggling when it comes to safety. And with that being said, it all falls on the leadership. George Brown, you have disappointed and failed the public. It's not right. We have a killer on the loose. A young lady, for those who have children, grandchildren, it could have been any individual, family member. But yet, when the situation happened, there wasn't any form of quick response. What would you have done, Mayor, if it was your family member or anyone else? No one notified the AG, the Attorney General. No one notified the state police. Yes, we have great men and women on our forces who work hard, extremely hard to keep the city safe. I'm out here every day meeting great people, but yet you have failed. Your leadership has failed. If we look at your record, it's all F. It's not mean for fantastic, it's failure. It's wrong. And we might get things correct. It's a major problem in our city. It's not about bipartisan. Where's the chief of police? Did any of you guys or girls reach out to the family? Mayor Brown, I asked you a question. Did you reach out to the family?
Martin, you have to finish before anybody can respond.
On behalf of the public, I ask you, Mr. Brown, and you better answer this question tonight, to give a letter of resignation to the chief of police.
Amen.
And to you too as well, throw the flag in, because you're not a good leader within the city. We are all here for different reasons, different issues, but yet safety is the first and foremost. Over the years, I have witnessed the station, the police department locked. Why should it be that way? If an individual is being attacked and trying to seek a safe havens, why should the public go in to ring a doorbell? Why? Answer all these questions, Brown. Oh, you just gonna stay there and stare at me?
finish.
Are you done?
Yes.
Does anybody have any comments? Thank you, Martin.
Come on, Brown. Are you gonna be on
All right,
mute?
Martin, thank you.
No, you have to talk.
He's not required to talk. Melanie?
Jesus Christ.
Can you come up if you could just state your name and your address? Thank you.
Hello, my name is Melanie Megorowski. I reside in Drums, PA. I'm coming as an educator that has students in my jurisdiction in Wilkes-Barre as well as Wilkes-Barre Township. I apologize as I had minutes to prepare this speech, and I appreciate your service and attentiveness. I also apologize for my lack of knowledge on the process in lawmaking. I'm a bit new to this, but I feel compelled hearing some of these news stories and the information surrounding it. So, I'm an educator at an alternative school. My students belong to the city's jurisdiction. Therefore, when my students are in trouble, I must call for law enforcement to assist me in these processes. I won't be addressing the complexity of this situation or the investigation in particular, but I want to lend witness as an educator and as a person that has been in a position that Lala may have gotten into. When I was young, I was in Lala's shoes in certain ways. As a child, I became separated from my parents, and I was subject to vulturous people and members of my own family and community that were ready to mess me up to my core, my very spirit. It scrambled all aspects of my life, my mind, spirit, and body, and accelerated bad trouble. Trouble that could have very well led me to Lanaya's shoes. Despite this, I obtained a way to higher education because I was afforded a promise to my future. And I ran all the way in and invested in myself. I was surrounded by angels in a community, and I made my own way in my own time to earn a degree at a university and made it my career path to work with kids that were like me and to remain steadfast and strong enough to regulate myself, to understand them and myself, and how I could do everything to lend witness to how systems fail children. How kids fall through the cracks. I did well, but many of my peers in the same situations, like Lanaya, died. They suffer at the hands of terrible decisions that they were never prepared to make. They die at the hands of vultures that surround them. And I come here to bear witness and testament to the systems that kill. The accidental or willful negligence in complex and sometimes wicked situations one can't win. But in these ways, we need to remain steadfast. These situations can baffle every human mind and spirit. They are abominations, like Lanaya's death. Regardless, throughout all my career experiences and expertise in this, which includes working with runaway children, I know exactly what that feels like and the frustration a civil servant feels when a runaway cycles through the system over and over again and help is asked for over and over again. These are wicked problems that don't have easy solutions. But as civil servants, we need to remain steadfast. They trust you as authority members with their lives. These are complex, messy family systems that need as much eyes on them, as much consistency. The sole investment that afforded me safety was education. And so I take my job seriously as an educator. I'm an authority member. I work with these complex situations. I see the runaway children every day, and I cannot abandon my post due to my own dysregulation. I must remain steadfast and work through. Right now, I'm a high school advisor. I see kids that are marginalized, truant, runaway, absentee from education, and chronically not performing as a student. No hope, lost, aimless. If I feel they are a lost cause and cannot fulfill their roles as a student, I can't abandon them. It's not an option. So I know deep down not everybody takes their roles seriously, and that's where everybody else in the community comes into place. I wouldn't be pleading with you to take accountability and actions to protect runaway kids if I didn't believe that there weren't members in this community that can hear me. I'm asking, after my public comment, how I can submit and continue conversations on how we can brainstorm further process to pursue legislation proposals, as this is not my expertise.
Thank you. Just so you're aware, I always have an open door policy. The number that is on the calendar is my cell phone number.
Okay.
If you want to call and discuss stuff with me, I'm always open to that, and I'm sure that other council members are as well.
Okay, I appreciate that, Jessica.
Thank you.
And if you don't have a calendar,
also-
you go to the city website,
Yeah,
you'll find it. It's
exactly.
on, it's all our
City website.
personal cell phone numbers.
Feel free to call anytime.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you, I appreciate your time.
Thank you. Sam Troy.
Sam, you're up.
Sam.
Sam.
Wake up, Sam.
Sam Troy, Joseph Lane. First thing, in the short time I have, I wanted to draw attention to, ask the question of, why is there no agenda? We've gone through this before. How many meetings have we had now where there was no agenda except acceptance of minutes? Isn't that a shameful thing? I mean, having no agenda says to me, as a taxpayer and a citizen who's lived here all my life, that you people either are oblivious to the concerns and the problems of this city, or you just don't care. No, which is it? I mean, I've proposed several, I mean, do any of you, let's say there's only 4 people here. Sorry. Oh, wait a minute, barely have a quorum, right? 3. I didn't notice that Mr. Barrett was out. So it's not really a fair question without 2 people here, but do any of you 3 perceive any problems in the city that need attention immediate, or perhaps postponed somewhat? Because I've gone over a list, I get no reaction at all. I mean, I could propose several. I'm sure the mayor might agree with me. We got crime, we got homelessness, we have gun violence, that's, I guess, a subtext of crime. We have financial problems. The city has financial problems. People have financial problems, especially senior citizens, people on fixed incomes. And yet, you 3 sit there, smug as all, whatever, including the mayor, and pretend there's nothing wrong. I mean, I just proposed 3 problems. There's more than that. Environmental degradation, we all know, exists. How do we improve the quality of life for our citizens here? I think that's the ultimate question. As of now, I see the quality of life going downhill and going deeper and downhill, and going more and more downhill, because 3 of you just don't want to call attention to the real problems of the city. Do you admit?
I'm sorry, you can't yell out. I'm sorry. Go
What's
ahead.
that?
Go ahead, Sam. Finish.
Let me just say one thing here. I don't mean to berate anybody. I think, you 3, maybe your hearts are good, even the mayor. Mayor, if you could provide, I'm just changing direction here because I don't have that much time, but I want to call attention, Tim, I meant to ask you this question. Could council tweak the bills that are already out there? Or can they, that's the question, I don't know if you have an answer immediately, but if that's possible in some form. I go back to this because the economic burden on the people of this city is becoming overwhelming. And it's not just because Mr. Brown and you guys endorsed the doubling of the sanitary sewer fee. It may not seem like much, an extra $50. And by the way, I pointed this out to Tim, who kind of glossed it over, but that bill is deceptive because nowhere on that bill does it say that the annual bill is $100. It said you have the option of paying $97 with a discount, but it doesn't say anywhere that the bill is $100. So, I mean, we could take that up with maybe, I don't know if they would do anything, but the Bureau of Consumer Affairs. That's to me, is ambiguous and deceptive. But let's put that aside. Let's assume it's fair. It's okay, as Tim indicated. If you guys have any kind of heart at all, And Mayor, yeah, I remember at the UGI hearings back in April, when you were the leadoff hitter, you were the first person to testify against the increase that was proposed, which I thought was a good thing. And you mentioned some very good things. You said, you know, I have tremendous, and the word you used, a great word, I think it was anyway, empathy. You said you have a lot of empathy for the taxpayers and citizens, not only of this city, but of the people who were affected by this increase. And of course, they rammed the increase through. But I think in one sense, you've been hypocritical about that, because if you were really sincere, you wouldn't have proposed a doubling of the sewer fee, would you? And you wouldn't consider putting this city further in financial jeopardy by taking out, by increasing the TAN note by $1 million and by taking out this $6 million bond issue, with the bond council earning I don't know how much. If you may respond to this, Mayor, I would like to know what that $6 million is going to be used for. And will you deny that that $6 million or whatever it is going to be used to cover salaries and overtime, et cetera, by all employees, which has gotten totally out of hand, in my opinion, or other problems, or the financial problems that the city has. I also want to propose in the last few seconds, the need for, not only the need for an agenda, but the need for a concept that I proposed for a long time, a Citizens Advisory Council. Because you people, even though we elect you, that doesn't mean we endorse everything you do. A lot of decisions you made have been more hurtful than harmful. I mean, more harmful than good, sorry. I guess that's it, I'm out of time.
Anybody have anything for Sam?
Can I make one more comment, or?
Make it quick.
Huh?
Make it quick, Sam.
Make it quick? I just want to say that along those lines, they talk about the jeopardy of the democracy is being compromised or driven away on the national level by a certain president and his administration. But I want to say that democracy is not manifested here or in the county, or in the very little of it is manifested here. It really doesn't exist. But thank you for your time.
Mr. Mayor, anything further? Mr. Brooks?
No, I have nothing.
Administration, anything?
There's no problem.
No, that's it. No other, that's it. Mhm.
Good evening, everyone. Those of you that may not know me, I'm Mayor Brown. And I just want to say a few words about the unfortunate death of the young lady that happened recently. Ladies and gentlemen, I've met with the district attorney, and we've reviewed everything that the police department has done. I'm here to tell you that they have not done anything wrong, and what is coming out is not true or factual, what's being reported. What I'm telling you is the police department did the job. They did the job they're supposed to do. They were very much involved in this case, and are continue to be involved in this case. So what I'm saying is, after speaking with the district attorney, everything has been done the correct way by our Wilkes-Barre City Police Department. And some of the things that are coming out recently are not correct. They're not true, and they're not correct. I'm going to end on that.
All right, motion.
That's it? That's the longer than I
That's
figured.
it.